This is chair taken.
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry.
Sure thing.
Hey, is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
No, but I'm expecting someone in a moment.
Thanks anyway.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, what? Is this a chair thing?
No, but I'm expecting someone very shortly.
Would you mind if my sister, he or she always comes?
They do seem pretty late.
You never know who you might turn down.
Sorry. Nice try, though.
Sure thing. Is this chair taken?
No, sir.
Would you mind if I sit?
Yes, I would.
Is this seat taken?
No, sir.
Would you mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place.
Mm-hmm.
What's the book?
I came here to read quiet, if you don't mind.
No, sure thing. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place for reading.
Yes, I like it.
What's the book?
The Sun and the Fury.
Oh, Hemingway. What's the book?
Sun and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
Nah, actually. Sure read about it though. It's supposed to be great.
It is great.
I think it's great. Waiter. What's the book?
Sun and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
I'm a Mets fan myself.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it in college.
Well, where was college?
I went to Oral Roberts University.
Where was college?
I was lying. I never really went to. I just like the party.
Where was college?
Harvard.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner. I spent the whole winter reading one.
I just started.
I was so excited after 10 pages. I went on about everything else he wrote. One of the greatest reading experiences of my life. All that incredible psychological understanding, page after page of gorgeous prose, good describes the mystery of time and human existence, the smells of the earth. What do you think?
I think it's boring.
What's the book?
The Sun and the Fury.
Ah, Faulkner.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner.
He's incredible.
I spent the whole winter reading him one.
After 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else that he wrote.
All that incredible psychological understanding.
And the prose is so gorgeous.
The way he grasps the mystery of time.
And human existence. I can't believe I've waited this long to read him.
You never know. You might not have liked him before.
That's true.
You might not have been ready for him.
That's happened to me.
It's all the time. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm ready.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I thought Faulkner was a great experience.
Yes.
Sound and Fury.
Well, onwards and upwards.
Waiter. You have to hit these things at the right moment, or it's no good.
That's happened to me.
It's all the time. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm ready.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you come in here a lot?
Actually, I'm in town for 2 days from Pakistan.
Oh, Pakistan. Do you come in here a lot?
Every once in a while. Do you?
Not so much anymore. Not since my nervous breakdown. Do you come in here a lot?
Why are you asking?
Just interested?
Are you really just interested, or are you just trying to pick me up?
No, I'm really interested.
Why would you be interested in whether I come here a lot?
Just getting acquainted.
Maybe you're only interested for the sake of making small talk long enough to get me back to
No.
your place. To listen to some music, or you got some great tape for your VCR, because you got some truly
Listen.
unknown Django Reinhardt record.
Wait.
Then you'll proceed to sit back down beside me and tell me that you've got a girlfriend named Stephanie. It was away at medical school when we were here in Belgium. That you've been dating for 7 years, off and on, what you call a very intricate relationship. None of which interests me, mister.
Okay. Do you come in here a lot?
Every once in a while. Do you?
I'm coming here quite a lot. Don't remember seeing you.
I guess we must be on different schedules.
Disconnections.
Yes, different time zones.
Amazing how you can live right next door to somebody in this town and never even know it.
Yep,
City life.
it's crazy.
We probably passed each other on the street, right outside this place, probably.
Yep.
Well, the waiters here should have seemed to be in some different time zone. Can't seem to locate one anywhere. Waiter! So, what do you...
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Sorry.
I guess we must be on different schedules.
Disconnection.
Yes, different time zones.
Amazing how you can live right next door to somebody in this town and never even know it.
I know.
City life.
It's crazy.
You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was,
Oh. Boyfriend?
sort of,
What's a sort of boyfriend?
my husband.
Ha ha! You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was.
Oh. Boyfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of boyfriend?
We were meeting here to break up.
Oh. What's a sort of boyfriend?
My lover. Here she comes now.
You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, sitting here all by yourself.
Do you think so?
Yeah, maybe what's a good-looking woman like you doing out on a Friday night?
Trying to get away from lines like that.
No, listen. Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, sitting here all by yourself.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, what's a good-looking woman like you doing out alone on a Friday night? No, but
I'm out alone on a Friday night for the first time in a very long time.
oh,
See, I just recently ended a relationship
oh,
of rather long standing.
sorry. Well, since reading here is such a sad occupation for a Friday night, would you like to go elsewhere?
No.
Do something else?
No thanks.
Had to do movies in a little while anyway.
I don't think so.
Well, big chance left Cochrane catch his breath. That's all I said. Getting pretty tired.
Thanks anyway.
Okay,
I really appreciate the offer.
sure thing. Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, sitting here all by yourself.
I guess I was trying to think of it as romantic. You know, great literature, cappuccino, rainy night.
That only leads to her. Pop a late play, get on a console, find a cafe.
I'm a little short on playing for tonight.
Darn it, so am I.
Listen, I was headed to the movies after I finished this section. Would you like to come along?
That's a very nice offer, but
Uh-huh. Girlfriend.
two actually. One of them's pregnant, and Stephanie.
Girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend. Not if you can castrate the witch I dumped last night.
Girlfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of girlfriend?
My mother. I just ended a relationship actually. Rather long standing.
I'm sorry to hear it.
It's my first night all alone in quite a while. I feel a bit at sea to tell you the truth.
So you just didn't stop to talk because you're a loony or you've got some weird political affiliation?
Nope, straight down the ticket Republican. Nope, straight down the ticket Democrat. Can I tell you something about politics? I think of myself as a citizen of the universe. I'm unaffiliated.
That's a relief. So am I.
I vote my
Labels are not important.
labels are not important. Exactly. So what if I got a 2-point in, 3-point in, 4-point in college? So what if I did come from independent? Where? Out in the city?
Sure.
I believe that a man is what he is. I believe that a person is what he is. I believe that a person is what they are.
I think so too.
So what if I admire Trotsky? So what if I once had a total body liposuction? So what if I don't have a penis? So what if I once spent a year in the Peace Corps? I was acting like a peace.
Sure.
You can't just hang a sign on a person.
I'll bet you're a Scorpio.
Right.
Listen, I was headed to the movies after I finished this section. Would you like to come along?
Sounds like fun. What's playing?
A couple of really early Woody Allen movies.
Oh,
You don't like Woody Allen.
yeah. I like Woody Allen.
But you're not crazy about Woody Allen.
Those early ones kind of get my nerves.
Uh-huh.
You
No,
know,
I was headed to... I was thinking about...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I was headed to the movies in a little
And
while.
so was I.
The Woody Allen.
Just up the street.
Do you like the early ones?
I think anybody who doesn't ought to be run off the planet.
How many times have you seen bananas?
8.
12. So are you so interested?
Do you like freaking sticky buns?
Last night I went out at 2 in the morning to get one. Did you have an etch-a-sketch as a child?
Yes. And do you like Brussels sprouts?
No. I think they're disgusting.
They are disgusting.
So do you still believe in marriage despite the current sentiments against it?
Yes.
And children?
3 of them?
2 girls and a boy.
Harvard, Vassar, and Brown?
And will you love me?
Yes.
And cherish me forever?
Yes.
So you still want to go to the movies?
Sure thing. Waiter!
So that's my point.
What's your point?
That we don't communicate.
No, you communicate. But you don't agree. But you communicate.
Listen, if she doesn't understand what I'm saying, how can you call that communication?
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Jim, you're missing the point.
No, I'm not. Do you understand the words I'm speaking to you?
Jim, we're just wrong for each
Do
other.
you?
That's all. Yeah.
Makes sense to you?
Yeah.
So we agree.
No.
So we disagree.
Yeah.
But we understand.
Yeah.
So then I'll... Excuse me a second.
am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Find somebody who likes to sit down at 4 o'clock in the morning, eat burgers, and drink coffee.
Oh yeah, like who?
Like her.
Oh, Mark.
How do you know that?
I can tell. Anyway, I'm not in the market.
So you're happy where you are?
Yeah.
So why did you come down here?
She's shorter than I am.
Everybody is.
Screw you, Jim.
You haven't even met her.
I got somebody.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't understand. Listen, Mr. Nice Guy, if you got somebody, go home with you. If you got a bed, line. If not what? Okay, let me ask you something. Are you happy where you are?
Unbelievable.
So then why did you come down here?
I just want a hamburger and a cup of coffee.
I don't see you eating anything.
Jim, let me tell you something. If you're really perceptive, you can tell within about 10 seconds of meeting somebody if the chemistry's there.
Oh, yeah, I can tell it ain't there. I can tell by the way you can't help staring at her ever since she walked in the door.
Hey, give me some credit here. I got some experience with this.
You're full of more bullpen than the hamburger in the freezer at home.
Problem with your girl?
No.
Liar.
What is going on here tonight?
You're lying into you have problems with your girl.
Yeah, so?
I say that makes you a liar.
Who is this? Who are you?
I'm trying to communicate something to you, her pal.
I walked out of my apartment and I went straight into the twilight zone. I just want a hamburger and a cup of coffee. I don't want to bother anybody.
Hey, Jim. How about a hamburger and another cup of coffee?
That's a very popular item tonight.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Anything else?
No, just a glass of water.
Okay.
Oh, and some cream.
Sure.
Jim,
Yeah.
who's the guy?
Which guy?
The guy who's just sitting over there.
I think he went to leave his con.
He had a fight with his future ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Just here and there, you know? Here and there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Forget it. I don't know. I don't know. I got this feeling like I met him before, like I know him, but I haven't, so.
So,
I can't.
Explain.
What? I don't know. Like, deja vu. Some connection. I don't know. Forget it. Where's the cream?
I think we're all just facing in the wrong direction. And if we just turn around and face each other, we'll find exactly what we're looking for. I mean, if I can sit here and look you dead in the eye and know exactly what you should do. But when I look at myself, I don't have a clue. Nothing. What is that? What is that I'm smart about your life than about my own? You ever think about that? I do. What is that? Who am I talking to?
you think he's cute?
Well, I didn't say that.
Come on now, I'm not asking for commitment here. I'll introduce you.
No, that's okay.
Why'd you ask?
I don't know why.
Why not?
Just let me get along.
You haven't even met him.
Jim, let me tell you something, okay? Intimate romantic relationships, of course, it depends on the quality of it. They distort your perceptions of time and space, and you become irrational, single-minded, thick-brained, and stupid. You tend to smile in context occasionally, and articulation, it becomes a struggle. I mean, I can't get any work done. I become witty as hell. I mean, I feel so blind. And Cosmo magazine, it becomes appealing. And those little love quizzes, they take over as the single source of outside information. And then, before you know it, you start to feel pretty damn good about yourself.
That sounds terrible.
And then you look up one day to find he's gone. So, no.
No what?
I want to meet him.
So then why did you come down here?
To be alone.
Take a look around.
Jim, let me ask you, what would I have in common with a guy like that?
A guy like what? You haven't even met him.
He's too tall.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Okay, for argument's sake, let's say I say hello.
Yeah.
He comes over.
Right?
We talk.
Mm-hmm.
Our eyes connect. He becomes vulnerable.
Now you're
He
cooking.
puts his life in my hands. I start to care for it.
Go, baby,
He
go.
opens up and lets me in. My life starts to revolve around him. I love him with everything I have.
Well,
And wake up one morning to find he doesn't know me.
whose fault is that?
I don't know. I don't have any idea who you are, he says. And he's right, of course. Because I spent all my time cleaning him up. And he gets scared and pulls away. And there I am.
Oh, just
right back down here. This damn little table.
Hey, you know.
And I feel like I'm taking my life in my hands. Just by saying hello, you know? I mean, I've been on the block 2 times. I think I can save myself this one trip.
Yeah, but what if this one trip is the right trip?
Jim, let me tell you something. If you're really perceptive, you can tell me about 10 seconds and maybe some chemistry's there.
Unbelievable. If this was in the week, nobody would believe it.
Look, I came down here for a burger and a cup of coffee. If I wanted dating service, I'll go somewhere else.
It's amazing. Anybody meets anybody.
Please, I'm sorry. This whole thing, I don't know why I mentioned it.
I think I do.
Why is everybody so fast? Just say hello.
Well, what about rejection? I mean,
Well, it's pretty much like you, that is.
okay. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. Okay. I'll make you a deal. I'll throw back her 200. And if he turns around and says hello to me before I get to lunch, then I'll know it's meant to be. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, may I please have a hamburger?
One more round.
No, okay. Just
So what's the answer?
what's the question?
What we were talking about before.
Two hearts are better than one.
What?
Two hearts are better than one. That fell on the name.
Why are we talking about horses?
I got it.
What are the odds?
100 to 1.
A little high, wouldn't you say?
I got it.
How's she running the mud?
What's the difference?
Well, you gotta take everything into consideration. You gotta figure
Figure what?
rain, odds, jockey.
No, too much trouble.
What do you mean?
Too much thinking.
But you gotta think about it.
No, you think you started up. Too much room for error.
What if you fail?
I fail. What are you? Perfect?
No.
Need to be right all the time.
You gotta have all the information so you get it right the first time.
All that does is keep you from laying down a bet.
But what if you gotta base your bet on something?
I do.
What?
My gut.
And what does your gut say?
Always follow your instinct.
You wager money just based on a hunch.
No, not a hunch. The instinct. A feeling.
You bet on your gut.
No, I bet on a horse. And I'm betting the bank that two hearts are better than one.
Give me some help here.
I'm trying to tell you something here, pal, and you ain't listening. You don't listen. It's your problem.
Listen, I listen.
No, you don't. You think, but you don't listen.
You gotta think through what you listen to.
I don't have to think of anything.
But what if you're wrong?
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I learn from my experience. I'm still betting my instincts get better. I'm making money, losing money, but I'm doing something. Every day I'm doing something. What do I do? If I did it your way, I'll never win, never lose. Probably never lay a bet. I'll just be buried in the newspaper all day. Bet horses?
No.
Didn't think so. Ever think about it?
Yeah.
I bet you $5 you can't.
Can't what? I can't.
Why not?
I'm not that kind of a guy.
What kind?
Kind that, I've never done that thing, I mean, just too much heat in the kitchen.
Listen, friend, honestly, you're way before you've seen the light.
What do you mean?
Okay, if Michael Jordan were always looking at the basket, if he were always looking at his opponents, he wouldn't be able to see the basket. You understand?
No, I'm not equipped for this.
You give me lots of reasons why you shouldn't, except one.
What?
A good one.
What difference does it make to you?
I get tired of looking at lonely faces like yours that don't need to be lonely.
Take a chance.
It's just hello.
Saying hello is like taking your life in your hands. It scares the hell out of me.
Every
If
time.
it were me, you'd want me to ask her out.
But what if,
Come
Come
on.
on.
All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll count to 10, and if she's looking at me, I'll know it was meant to be.
Count fast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hi.
my good friend. I'm so glad to see you. But this is a surprise. How are you?
Oh, thank you. How are you?
So, my friend, please sit down. It isn't right to forget one's neighbor. But tell me, why all this ceremony? Dress clothes, white gloves and all. Are you on your way to some engagement, my good fellow?
I have no engagement except for with you, Stepan Stepanovich.
But why an evening clothes, my friend? This isn't New Year's.
Oh, well, you see, my dear Stepan Stepanovich, I have come to make a request of you. Although I do not deserve it, and I'm terribly nervous. It would be so good to see you. I'll get a drink of water.
He's come to borrow money. I won't give him any. What is it then, dear little mom?
Well, you see, my dear Stepan Stepanovich, I have come to make a request of you, although I do not deserve it. And
Don't beat around the bush, my dear fellow. Tell me.
immediately, in a moment, here it is then. I have come to ask for the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stepanovna.
Angel, I would be silly to say that once again. I didn't quite hear it.
I have the honor.
My dear man, I'm so happy that everything is so everything. I've wanted this to happen for so long. It has been my dearest wish, and I've always loved you, my dear fellow, as my own son. May God give you his blessings and his grace, and I always wanted it to happen. But why am I standing here like a blockhead? I'm completely dumbfounded with pleasure, completely dumbfounded with my whole being. I'll call Natalia. Natalia!
Dear Stepanovich, do you suppose that I might hope for Natalia Stepanovna's acceptance?
Really, a fine boy like you, and you think she won't accept on a minute? I'm sick as a cat and all that.
Oh, dear. It is terribly cold. Oh, my whole body is trembling as I were going to take my examination. But the chief thing is to settle matters. If one hesitates or mediates, thinks about it, waits for an ideal or for true love, he never gets it. And Natalia is an excellent housekeeper, well educated, not at all bad looking. What more could I ask for? And in the first place, I am 35, a critical age, you might say. In the second place, I must live a well-regulated life. I have a continual palpitation of the heart and hammering of the arteries in my temples. But the worst of all is sleep. No more do I lie down than something begins to pull and tug at my left side, and my pulse in my temples throbs terribly. I jump up like a madman and walk about a little bit, but it does no good. No more do I lie down than it starts all over again, and so it is all night long.
How do you? What is that to go in? There's a gentleman there who come to buy something. Good afternoon, I believe.
Good day, Natalia Stepanovna.
Oh, you must pardon me for wearing this apron and this old dress. We were working today. Oh, why haven't you come to see us something? Sit down. Don't you have something to eat?
Thank you, I have just eaten.
Smoke? There are the matches. Oh, today is so beautiful. Only yesterday I arranged for partner work and can do us the job work. How many bricks have you cut? Think of it. I'm so anxious I had the whole field long. And now I'm silent because I'm afraid to handle right. It would have been better if I had waited. Well, what on earth is this? Do I mean so? The latest cut. Are you on your way to some sort of ball? And you seem to be looking better, really. Why are you dressed up so gorgeous?
Well, you see, Natalia Stepanovna, I have come to ask you to listen to me, although I do not deserve
What is
it.
it?
Well, I'll try to be brief. As you know, the decades, the Lomovs and Chubakovs have been on closest, indeed friendliest of terms with each other. My aunt and uncle, from whom I inherited my estate, always had the greatest respect for your father and your poor departed mother. And, as you will be so good as to remember, my meadows touched your virtuous. Ow!
Pardon the interruption. These are my meadows, and are they yours?
Oh, why, yes, they belong to me.
What nonsense. That is not to us, not to you.
No, they belong to me.
Well, that certainly isn't new to me. How do they belong to you?
Why, I speak of the meadows lying between your birchwoods and my brick earth.
Exactly. They belong to us.
No, they belong to me.
But that isn't true. No, pardon us.
My dear Natalia Stepanovna, it is all a matter of record. It is true that at one time the title of meadows is disputed, but now everyone knows they belong to me. There is no room for discussion. Be so good as to listen while I explain. The peasants of your father's grandfather baked bricks for my aunt's grandmother for a certain time of about 40 years. My grandmother wished to do them a favor and placed the meadows free of cost into their hands. Later, however,
There's not a word of truth in that. My grandfather and my great-grandfather treated this one back to the estate so that the meadows belong to us. What further discussion can there be? I cannot understand. It's really not to know.
I'll show you the papers.
No, you guys are joking or trying to lead me into discussion. And that's not so nice. I'm Miss Lear, you will pardon me, but I really not belong to us. As far as I'm concerned, the meadows are worth very little. There are only 5 acres in all, and only worth a few hundred needles, say 300. But it's the injustice of the thing which affects me. Say what you will, I cannot bear the injustice.
My dear Natalia Stepanovna, only let me so good as to listen till I have finished. The peasants, your respected father's grandfather, as I have already had the honor of telling you, baked bricks for my aunt's grandmother.
Grandfather, grandmother, aunt. I know nothing about it. All I know is that the meadows belong to us, and that's the end of the matter.
My dear Natalia Stepanovna, I do not need the meadows. If you will be so good, accept them as a gift from me.
But I can give them to you, because they belong to me. It's very peculiar, I've listened until now we're considered as a good neighbor and a good friend. Only last year we don't let you run threshing seasons, but we couldn't thresh until November. And now you should just like please. You offer to give me my own land. I'm sorry, but good neighbors don't treat each other that way. It's a very big trick to speak frankly.
My dear lady, according to you, I am an usurper then. I have never appropriated other people's property, and I shall permit no one to accuse me of such a thing. The meadows belong to me!
What the shoot? They are mine.
They're mine!
Oh yeah, I'll prove it to you. This afternoon I'll send my reapers into the meadows.
What?
They'll be there today.
I'll take them off!
If you dare.
The meadows belong to me! Do you understand? Me!
Really? You needn't scream, so if you want to scream in a certain rage, you may just send home. But here, just keep yourself in the limits of common decency.
Dear lady, if it weren't for the fact that I am suffering from palpitation of the heart, I would deal with you very differently. The meadows belong to me! Me!
What's going on here? What is he yelling about?
Tell this gentleman to whom the meadows belong, to us or to him.
My dear fellow, the meadows are ours.
But merciful heavens, Stepan Stepanovich, you at least might be reasonable.
Permit me.
The peasants of your grandfather baked bricks for my aunt's grandmother. My grandmother wished to do them a favor and place the meadows free of cost into their hands. Later, however, when...
Permit me, my dear friend. You forget that your grandmother's peasants never paid because there's been a lawsuit over the meadows. And everyone knows that the meadows belong to us. You haven't looked at the map.
I'll prove they belong to me!
Don't try to prove it.
I will!
Good fellow, what are you shrieking about? You can't prove anything by yelling, you know. I don't ask for anything that belongs to you, nor do I tend to give up anything of my own. Why should I? If it has gone so far that you intend to claim the meadows, I'd rather give them to the peasants than you, and I certainly shall.
By what right can you give away property that doesn't belong to you?
Really, you must allow me to decide what I'm to do with my own property. I am not accustomed, young man, to have people address me in that tone of voice. I, young man, am twice your age, and I beg you to address me respectfully.
No, no. You think I'm a fool. You call my property yours and expect me to stand quietly by and treat you like a human being. That's not the way a good neighbor behaves, Stepan Stepanovich. You're no neighbor. You're no better than a land grabber. That's what you are.
What did he say?
From the reapers into the meadow this way.
What was that you said, sir?
The meadows are mine, and I won't give them up. I won't give them up. I won't give them up.
I'll prove in court the meadows belong to me.
Court! You may sue in court, sir, if you like. Oh, I know you. You're only waiting to find an excuse to go to law. You're an intriguer, that's what you are. Your whole family. We're always in quarrels, the whole lot.
Kindly refrain from insulting my family. The entire race of Lowell have always been honorable, and none have been brought to court for embezzlement as your dear uncle was.
And the whole of my family were insane.
Every one of them.
Your grandmother was a dipsomaniac, and the younger aunt Natasha Mikhailovna ran off with an architect.
And your mother left! I need water!
And your dear father was a gambler and a glutton.
And your uncle was a gossip like few others.
And you are an intriguer. Oh, my heavens. And it is a known secret that you cheated at the elections. Oh, my eyes are blurred. Where is my hat? Where shall I go? Where is the door?
Oh, liar, disgusting thing.
Dying.
Well, may you never darken my door again.
Bring your suit to court, we'll see.
Oh, the devil.
Such a good for nothing, and they talk about being such good neighbors.
Loafer, scarecrow, monster.
A swindler like that takes over a piece of property that doesn't belong to him and then dares to argue on it.
And to think that this fool dares to make a proposal of marriage.
What? A proposal of marriage?
Why, yes, you came here to make your proposal of marriage.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
That's why I had on the evening colors.
A proposal for me? Bring him back! Bring him back! Oh, fancy President, thinking.
What is it? What's wrong with you? I'm cursed. I'll shoot myself. I'll hang myself.
I'm dying. Bring
In a
him
minute,
back.
Paul.
What have they done to me? Bring him back!
He's coming. The devil take him. Talk to him yourself. I can.
Bring him
He's coming! Oh Lord, what a task it is to be the father of a grown daughter. I'll cut my throat. I really will cut my throat. We've argued with the fellow, insulted him, and now we've thrown him out. And you did it all, you.
No, you haven't been mad. If it were for you, he would have gone.
Oh yes, I'm to blame. Remember, if I shoot or hang myself, you'll be to blame. You forced me to it, you. There, talk to yourself.
Oh, my heart.
Ron, the letters really belong to you.
My eyelids tremble. My meadows. Oh, we were wrong. It is only the principle of the matter which I am concerned with.
Exactly the principle. Now let us talk about that.
For I have proofs that my house
Enough
belongs.
now. I don't know how to begin. Are you going hunting soon?
Yes, heathcock shooting with respect to Natalia Stepanovna. I expect to begin after the harvest. And my dog, Bugatti, you know him, limbs.
But shame, how did that happen?
I do not know. Perhaps it was a dislocation, or perhaps another dog bit him. The finest dog I ever had, to say nothing of his price. I paid Mironov 125 rubles for him.
That was too much to pay. I didn't assume.
In my opinion, it was very cheap. A fine dog.
Papa paid 85 rubles for his Okatai, and Okatai is much better than Gotti.
Okatai better than Ugatti? What a thought! Okatai better than Ugatti?
It is true he's not full grown yet. Well, but on the pack or in the leash, there is no better than he. Even
What is it, Tanya Stepanovna? You entirely overlook the fact that your dog has a short lower jaw. And a dog with a short lower jaw can't snap.
a short lower jaw. That's the first thing I picked up.
Oh, why, yes, a short lower jaw. He is good at running, though.
In the first place, Okatai is a pure milk, a full-blooded son of Sakamidis and Sumi. And as for your man, though, they can't even figure out his pedigree. He's old and ugly and skinny as an old hag.
Oh, certainly, but I wouldn't take 5 of your Okatais for my Ugatti. Ugatti is a dog, and Okatai is... it is laughable to argue about it. Dogs like your Okatai can be found by the dozens at any dog dealers. A whole pound full.
I understood it. You're being very contrary today. First, our meadows belong to you, and now Ogati is better than Okatai. I don't like it when a person doesn't say what he really is. You know perfectly well that Okatai is much better than your silly Ogati.
I can see that you either consider me a blind man or a fool. But you may as well admit that your dog Okatai has a short lower jaw.
It isn't so.
Yes, a short lower jaw.
So.
Ow, it is too. What makes you scream, dear lady?
What makes you talk nonsense? It is high time that Ogati was shot and yet you compare him with Okatai.
My dear lady, if it weren't for the fact that I are suffering from palpitation of the heart, I would deal with you very differently. Be still, I beg of you. My heart is bursting. Be still.
I won't be still until you admit that Okatai is better.
Be still.
Well, has it begun again?
Papa, say frankly on your honor, which dog is better, Okatai or Ogati?
Stepan Stepanovich, I ask of you just this. Has your dog a short lower jaw or not? Yes or no?
And what if he has? Is it of such importance? There's no better dog in the whole country.
Speak the truth now. My Ugatti is better.
Permit me, your dog certainly has its good points. He is from a good breed, has a good stride, strong lunges, and so forth. But the dog, if you really must know, it has 2 faults. He is old and he has a short lower jaw.
Pardon me, but I cannot carry on this conversation anymore. Palpitation. Let us keep to the facts now. You remember in Moroskin's meadows, my Ugatti kept ear to ear with the Count Rasputin and your dog.
He was behind because the Count struck him with his whip.
Quite right. All the other dogs were on the fox's scent, and your Okatai found it necessary to bite a sheep.
That's not so! I'm sensitive about that and beg you to stop this argument. I remember it distinctly.
I remember something too.
Well, I remember something too. What do you remember?
Constipation. My leg is like, damn. Oh, it feels as though we're dying.
Nice sort of hunter you are. You ought to stay at home by the kitchen stove and rest with potato points and not go fussing. Palpitation.
And what kind of hunter are you? A man with your disease ought to stay home and not jolt around in the saddle, if you were a hunter. But you only ride around in order to find out about other people's dogs and make trouble for everyone. Besides, you're no hunter.
And you're a hunter? You only ride around to flatters account. Intriguer, swindler.
What of it? Be still.
Intriguer.
Be still or I'll shoot you with my worst gun, like a partridge, you fool, loafer.
Oh, my heart. And it is a known secret that your poor late wife beat down. Oh, it feels so
where's the trousers in your house?
Here, there. My shoulder is burst. My heart, where's my shoulder?
Nice sort of hunter you are. You can't even sit on a horse. Papa, what's the matter with him? I'm a Brazilian. He's dead.
What is it? What's
I'm
wrong
a
with you?
Brazilian.
Who's dead?
He's dead.
He's dead. Good God, water, the doctor. Drink? No, he won't drink. He's dead. What a terrible situation. Why have I never shot myself? Why have I never cut my throat? What am I waiting for? Only give me a knife. Give me a pistol. He's coming too. Drink some water. There.
Hurt, miss.
Give
Where am I?
Mary, quick. Can I go to the devil? She's willing. She's agreed. Only leave me in peace.
Where am I? What? What's going
Kiss
on?
each other.
Very nice. I am happy. My leg is light.
Load off my shoulders.
And now at least submitting God is
Better.
Have no fear, Maddie. Here.
Maddie?
Sarah.
Maddie, it's so good to see you. How are you? You look great. Colors must really agree with you.
Well, the weather does.
I want to hear all about it in detail.
Kate.
Welcome home, Maddie. Good to see you. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Kate. How are you feeling today? Sort of hangover? Mean anything to you? Kate toasted the bride and groom last night 4 times. Same toast. It's the first time I've had anything to drink since the baby. I guess I overestimated my alcohol capacity.
How is Mickey?
He is great. Never cries.
Figures you and Michael have a baby that never cries. Did you bring pictures?
Of course I brought pictures. I'm a mother, aren't I? Why don't you and Michael just have Mickey's face tattooed all over your foreheads? It would save a lot of time.
He's gorgeous, Kate.
Yeah, he looks just like Michael. What's the big secret?
Bridesmaid dresses. Kate thinks they're ugly.
Well, of course they're ugly. Bridesmaids dresses are supposed to be ugly. I always thought I would be the first bride in the history of weddings to have tasteful bridesmaid dresses. Then, when it came time to plan my own wedding, I went upstairs, opened my closet, and there, staring at me, was $1,000 worth of pastel taffeta. 13 of the most hideous-looking dresses I've ever spent while working on. And I thought, no way are my friends going to get away with buying a dress they can ever wear again. It's so funny.
Julie!
I'm so glad you're here.
I wouldn't have missed this.
Sarah hates the dress. Kate, do you really? No, of course I don't. That's what you ask. Bridesmaids always hate the dresses.
I wonder why that is.
No, they're horrible. No offense, Julie. Yours are exquisite compared to mine. But something happens to women when they face the prospect of being married. They lose all sense of good taste.
Well, I think the dresses are beautiful, Julie.
Liar. You're just trying to make up to Julie for not being at the rehearsal dinner. That's right. You missed Kate's soliloquy. How's the rehearsal go?
Great. No one gives a clue how to speak the reading I do. It's a beautiful thing.
I don't know how you do it, Maddie. I would go crazy if my life was always turning balance like that. I was waiting for the next job.
You get used to it.
What time is it? 10 after. Oh my God, only 15 minutes of single life. I can't believe it. You've been waiting your whole life to say that. On a serious side, we better hustle to be ready by 10 too. So Maddie, tell me about LA. What's it really like?
Got me. I don't think LA is really like anything. It's just this place where people go to realize their dreams.
Sounds exciting.
It is. Sometimes, but then not everyone actually realizes their dreams once they get there. They forget or they give up, so there's all this wasted energy from dreams that never come true. It's kind of sad, really. Look, I don't want to talk about LA. I'm on vacation.
What about guys? You want to talk about them?
Sure, you start.
Very funny, Maddie. I want to talk about guys in your life.
That'll be a short conversation.
Come on, we won't marry you and thrive on news from outside girls. Appease us, Maddie. Please tell us everything in detail.
There's nothing to tell. It's a cold, cool world out there. Be happy you're settled down.
That's it? That's all we get?
I don't tell you guys I'm dating tonight, man. You've done it. If it wasn't such a drag, you'd still be doing it. Watch Oprah, you'd be amazed what goes on out there. I know what marriage is, though. I just thought marriage was a good thing to do for one reason. It's one less decision you have to make in life. You don't mean that, Kate. I do. There are so many choices nowadays. Whether to go to college, which one to go to, who to marry, whether to have kids, paper and plastic. It's going on and on. At some point, you have to cut your losses and just decide. How romantic. Don't get me wrong. I love Michael. We have a good marriage and a great kid. But I've known him since I was 16. That's half my life. Who's to say I wouldn't have met someone I love more later on in life? Odds are 50-50 I would have, and 50-50 I wouldn't. Kate, why? All I'm saying is that at some point you have to choose. And unless you wait until you're on your deathbed, there are always another option. I limited my options at the age of 22. Sarah, to George at 29, and Julie at 32. So what you're saying is, the more men I meet, the more confused I'll get? Yeah, sort of. You're completely ignorant from romance and chemistry. And love. No, I'm not. All those things are part of what's in the guide for consideration. It sounds like an explanation of corporate bios. I feel like I'm at work. Hear me out. A woman wouldn't consider falling in love with a guy she's not attracted to. And there are literally tons of men she will come in contact with during her life, but she won't fall in love with all of them. Unless, of course, she's me. All I'm saying is that before you fall in love with a man, make a decision to do so. It might not be a conscious decision, but it's a decision nonetheless. So what you're saying is every woman's responsible for her own relationship? Exactly. Great. I was counting on destiny. Cool. I mean, it's not fair. I was perfectly willing to be responsible for my own mental health, for my own finances. This really puts a dent in my plans. Don't take Kate too seriously, Maddie. Mother has given him the right respect on life. What motherhood? Kate's been this way since I've known her. What is it now, 5 years? Sarah, do you need help? In my bag. So yeah, it's been 5 years. We've known Julie longer though, almost 6 years. You guys used to work together, right? Julie and I did. Sarah just came along with you. How long were you roommates? Kind of college and taking out 3 years for law school, 9.5. God, I've been living with Michael 7, and it seems like forever sometimes. It's different, Jojo. There's less pressure. I disagree. I think men are much easier to live with. You're crazy. Women are too competitive. But at least they help with the dishes. Men do dishes too, Julie. And men know the meaning of the word discretion. It's a problem with women. They share too much information. Hey, you happen to be a woman. That's how I know. I remember one time, we were all together for Memorial Day. We were all at the beach talking about the guys. Everyone was saying things that irked them. You know, I think you were saying how Rick sometimes doesn't return your call until the next day. And Sarah, you were saying something about Donald. Anyway, I mentioned how Pete would sometimes ask me for a Coke when he was sitting on the couch. You know how our apartment was. The kitchen and the living room was that sort of big open area. Anyway, I'd sometimes be in the kitchen fixing dinner, and Pete would be sitting on the couch watching TV. And he'd ask me to get him a Coke. And it sort of bothered me, you know, because I was already doing something, and he was just sitting there. Then it seemed that every time we were having a conversation about the guys, this Coke issue would come up. It became this thing, this huge insurmountable thing that Pete did. I never told about it, though. That would have been too, I don't know. I just kept talking to you guys about it. Then I had you guys over for lunch on a Saturday, and Pete was watching football for a change. And he asked me to get him a Coke. You guys just looked at me as if to say, you're not going to get it for him, are you? I don't know. That moment, my whole entire contribution to women everywhere was being weighed. I just turned to Pete and I screamed, get your own damn Coke, I'm busy. What did he do? He just looked at me as if to say, this chick is using it. And he got up, he got his own Coke. I remember that day. So do I. I just don't the point. The point is, all this sharing with you only serves to set us up against each other, against our mates. Well, I pretty much covered that topic. I need some blush, preferably. Any offers? I think I might have some. Here you go. Thanks. George and Peach. God, stuff with these names. What names? The names that give to different color of women's makeup. Blushing pink, misty mauve, dragon lady red. I mean, who would put a color called dragon lady red on her face? I think it's called dragon red, Kate. Not dragon lady red. Whatever. I still wouldn't put it on my face. I thought dragons were green. I think it'd be a fun job. What's that? Thinking up names for different shades of makeup? I swear, Sarah, sometimes I cannot believe the things that come out of your mouth. Why? Here you are, one of the most successful corporate attorneys in the city, saying that thinking up names of makeup colors would be a fun job. I do. Just think, you have a real colorful office, and you sit around all day examining the various creams and powders and trying on all the different lipsticks. And the first word that popped into your head can become its name. Luscious wine. It's so creative. This is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Maddie, tell us what it's like to be creative. How should I know? What pays me to be creative? Come on, you're an actor. No. Meryl Streep is an actress. Frances McDormand is an actress.
Who's Frances McDormand?
She's an actress. She was nominated for the Academy Award.
She was? What for?
That Gene Hackman movie about the civil rights activist?
I saw that. She was the wife who played that one guy.
Yeah, that's her.
She was great.
Now, she's an actress. I can't remember the last time I was really paid to act. The last film I did, I had one line.
One line?
One lousy line.
What was the line?
So glad you guys asked. Help me! Somebody help me! They killed my husband!
That was a lousy line. That was Monster Madness. Now when I saw that, that was a great line. Yeah, Rick and I thought too. It seemed like one line the way you did it, Maddie.
Gee, thanks, but it was one line.
But it seemed like more. That must take a lot of creativity. Besides, stop complaining. Every time I turn on the TV, I see you.
Doing commercials.
So they pay you, don't they?
Well, sure. But they don't pay me to be creative. They pay me to sell laundry detergent.
When you put it that way, it doesn't sound very glamorous.
It's not. Except for when you're on top. Then it's great.
Any job's great when you're in town, Maddie. Take a Sarah. She knows. I did her taxes once.
What are we doing here? Talking about serious taxes and laundry detergent. It's Julie's wedding day. We're not paying any attention to the bride. How do you feel, Julie?
Well, I'm a little nervous about my hair. Why didn't you have it done this morning? But they always do it too poofy, and then they just put hairspray in it. I always have to go home with Rick before I can be seen in public.
I don't see why hairstylists always seem to want their clients to look like Phyllis Diller. It's all you beat the perfect.
You want me to do your hair, Julie? Should time? Of course I have time. You're the bride. You're supposed to look beautiful. The bride always looks beautiful. That's why bridesmaids have to go ugly, so they can be sure. That's not true. I don't mean about the dresses. I mean about the bride always looking beautiful. I remember my sister's wedding. I don't think I've ever seen Jeannie look worse than she did that day. Julie, I know it sounds mean, but it's true. I remember watching her walk down the aisle, and the closer she came, the uglier she got. She looked so tired and had these huge circles under her eyes, and the white dress made her look so pale. It was just awful. At one point, I turned to look at my mother, and she was staring right at me, and I knew she was thinking the same exact thing.
How do you feel, Julie?
Scared?
The aisle isn't that long.
That's the aisle up here. I'm second at the end of it.
You don't have to go through it, you know. Not if you don't want to. I can go up there and call it all off. I'll let you keep my present.
Well, then call it off by all means.
I'd like to say I think you're doing a lousy job of keeping the spirit of revelry here today. Just the groomsmen are in the other rooms weeping.
Maybe the girls tonight, but Richard, he's kind of sounding right now saying, I can't believe the violence happened at the end of it. Don't kid yourself, Julie. I've known Rick for 10 years, and I can honestly say, you're his very best father. I second that.
I third it.
According to applause. Oh! Well, women may share too much as Maddie says, but I wouldn't trade. Guys don't share anything. What about that male bonding thing they do? How? How they bond? That's what I'd like to know. Take Don, for instance. Every Saturday afternoon, he has a bunch of guys over and they sit around and watch whatever game happens to be on and drink beer and eat pizza. Then after they leave, then he goes, what a great bunch of guys. How does he know? By watching television with them. They don't talk about anything. They don't share anything. How do you know that? I've listened. In fact, last week, Bob Fletcher was over and his wife had a baby not even a month ago. Did you know not even one of those guys even asked about the baby? They probably asked about it this week before when you weren't listening. Well, all I'm saying is, this guy has a new addition to his family, and the only talk coming out of that room is about the game.
And I just relate to each other differently. That's all.
I sometimes wonder what they have to talk about in sports and everything.
I can't believe you guys. Men talk about lots of things. I have one male friend in LA who doesn't even like sports.
Marry him right now. Leave this wedding immediately and marry him.
But they don't spend enough time talking about us. And that bothers us, because we spend most of all of our time talking about them.
She's right. Do you think for 1 minute those guys in the other room expect their mother not to talk about them? Of course not. They're talking about the game they're missing on television.
Sounds like you thought this through.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I bet Rick is here too. This sure is different from my wedding. I look at Michael differently now. I used to think he was so wonderful, the perfect husband. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. No, I want to hear it. And I'm the bride, and you have to do what I want. Love, marriage. I always thought of it as a sort of climax. The accumulation of love between two people. It is. I mean, I think it is. But it also means that you spend every day of your life in the company of another person. You see everything that person does, every mistake he makes. The mistake he makes sometimes hurts you. And you realize that in marriage, there is no such thing as living your own life. Everything you do, every day, every decision you make affects that person. And you wish you could just be you again, all by yourself.
in one shoe and staring at a pumpkin and thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I don't know. Maybe the already married people couple will get together and talk about what it's like to be married. Best and worst sort of thing. Of course, they'd still have to bring presents. Kate, what time is it? Julie, you're still not ready. Sarah, we need a dress. We'll help you. Julie, the dress is so beautiful.
Thanks. I designed it myself. Sort of. I pieced out all the things away from how the dress I found in the magazine. Then I had them do this one. I hope Rick likes it.
Well, if he doesn't, who cares? It's your dress.
What is it? The photographer. Did you want to very fresh out for the ceremony?
You're a little late, we're almost done for coming in.
I was going to do your bridesmaid. Something spontaneous, like putting on a veil or something.
Now there's an original idea.
Which one of you is really on it? I am.
Sound real excited about it, too.
Julie, when you're dressed, why don't you take a chair and what's your name? Sarah. Why don't you get the veil and bring on her head first?
Do you ever think we're getting old enough to forget that this isn't an impressive picture?
Okay. Now how about Sarah, you stand to the right and what's your name?
Kate.
Katie, you stand to the left and you down the ground in front of her.
I didn't think I'd end up on the floor until after the wedding.
It's kind of like a picture in the history book. You know, they're clear the ladies in waiting gathered around her.
Why did they call them ladies in waiting anyway? What exactly were they waiting for?
For a handsome prince who whisked them away to a faraway land.
Sounds kind of optimistic to me.
It always does.
Okay, I've got what I need.
What?
I'm going to go upstairs and finish setting up for the ceremony. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Thanks. Oh, 5 minutes.
What are you panicking for? You're ready.
You think so? Yeah, it is beautiful. Thanks. So do you guys. I have something for you. I was waiting for you all to get them to out. Thanks for being here. I just don't mean today. I mean, you've always been here, each one of you, in your own way, when I needed you.
Thanks, Julie. It's beautiful.
Well, ladies, what do you say? Should we get these crazy kids married or what?
I'm nervous.
Don't be. It's easy once you get up there.
It's a long aisle.
Yeah, it always seems fun when you have to walk down it just like a fairy princess with everyone talking at you.
I'm sure Julie feels much better after that reassuring statement.
Look, very nice to walk down the aisle without shipping, then damn it, you can too. Just have fun.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, wait, I forgot my flowers.
I'm ready now.
So
days are silly, still she holds us pretty well.
When we were babies, someone married us as well.
And if I can catch her, I'll pitch her and snatch her and send her away with the theater.
Black-billed cuckoo. Grace, I saw a black-billed cuckoo.
My name is Muriel. Ooh, you're so mad.
I know your name's Muriel. That's what I called you.
You call me Grace. Grace was your first one.
I called you Muriel. You're just tired of hearing it, won't admit it. Grace, that's what I said.
There, you said it.
What?
Grace, you call me Grace.
You just don't. You call me Carrie, but I call you Grace.
Can't you hear yourself?
What?
I said, can't you hear yourself?
Of course I can hear myself. It's you that can't hear. I say you call me Harry, sometimes your second husband, and sometimes George your first.
I never did. You're just saying that because you call me Grace. And once in a while, Mary.
You just don't hear it.
What's my name?
Silly question. Miriam, you're Miriam. Grace was my first wife, and Mary was way longer.
Mary was before Grace.
No, she wasn't.
She was.
I should know who my first wife was. Damn it, woman.
That's safe. Just call me woman. We won't get confused. It's not very flattering, but it's better than being called the names of your other wives. My name's Muriel, and you're Harry.
Did you hear? You called me Harry. Pot calling the kettle black.
You got me confused, that's all. You could always mix me up. Back then, we went to Europe.
I've never been to Europe in my life.
You and I went to Europe.
No, Grace and I went to Europe on our honeymoon. That's when I had money. For women had taken it all.
I've been to Europe with you.
No, you and George went to Europe.
I went to Europe with Harry, too.
Yes, well, I'm Herbert.
We've never been to Europe.
Single, not together.
I think we have. You've forgotten.
I've got a perfectly good memory.
You can't remember my name. You and I were in Venice together, and you're ashamed to remember the scandalous times we had. You loved me then.
I didn't love you when you were in Venice having a scandalous good time with whichever it was. Which was it, George or Harry?
It was you.
I've never been to Venice in my life.
Yesterday you said you'd never gone to Chicago, and I proved you wrong on that. Your second daughter by your first wife died there, and we went to the funeral.
Grace?
The daughter's name?
No, Grace's girl.
Grace wasn't your first wife, Mary was.
Were you there? I tell you, one was enough, two was more than plenty, and I don't know what I was thinking to try it a third time.
You were sick, and too tight to hire a nurse. You married me.
I got what? Why did I kick you out? No. Why? No, I didn't mean it. Always crying. I busted at our son's wedding, took on something off.
We didn't have any children, and I don't cry. That was Mary, and I'm Miriam.
It's no wonder I'm confused. Which I'm not. But you all the time saying Grace and Mary and Muriel.
I'm just trying to straighten you out.
What difference does it make? I answer when you call me Bernie.
I never called you Bernie. I maybe once or twice called you Harry when I woke up suddenly like and didn't know where I was. But I never knew a Bernie.
Bernie!
Never heard of him.
He'd be pleased to hear that.
Who was he?
You were carrying on with him when I met you.
I was married to Harry when you met me.
Yes, and carrying on with Bernie when he cleared out.
That must have been great.
You were carrying on with?
No, Grace must have been carrying on with Bernie.
She wasn't married before. I was her first.
Not married, carrying on.
She was married to Harry and carrying on with Bernie?
You said she wasn't married before.
You were!
What day of the week is it?
What's that got to do with it?
You can't remember anything, senile old man. Bernie Walters.
That's him!
Who?
Bernie Walters.
I never heard of him.
You just said his name.
You've been saying it here for an hour. I just repeated it.
You said Bernie Walters.
I said I never heard of him. And besides, I wasn't married to Harry when I met you. It was George. If I'd been married to Harry, I wouldn't have looked at you. Fine, strapping man. May he rest in peace. Oh, what he did in Venice.
You see, it was Harry in Venice.
Of course it was Harry in Venice.
You said it was me.
You? Huh? You wouldn't have anything to do with a thing like that.
What? A thing like what?
Don't be jealous of a dead man. I've done my best to forget you, George, like I promised when I married you.
I'm Herbert.
Do you keep repeating it so you won't forget who you are?
You just called me George.
I hear Nan's a cheap thing.
See here, Grace.
I'm Muriel.
You talk about me. What about you, Mary? I'm Mary. Where? I wouldn't call you Grace. Grace was soft, gentle, kind.
Why'd you leave her there?
Didn't she die?
Mary died, your first wife. You got sick of Grace and left her married to me.
Grace for you?
Yes, you silly old man.
Oh, no. Grace is my darling.
She drove you crazy.
First love.
Mary.
Mary drove me crazy.
She was your first love. You told me about it often enough. The two of you young colts prancing around the nude.
Mary?
Yes,
I never saw Mary naked. That was a trouble. Cold woman.
that was Grace.
Grace I saw naked. Oh, how naked. There was never anyone nakeder.
You can only be naked. You can't be more or less naked.
You didn't know Grace.
Mary, I did know Grace.
Naked?
See what the top of your head.
I never saw you naked.
No, and not likely to. What'd be the point?
Well, that's the truth.
You married me at 70, and you were through then. Except for dreaming.
Never mind. We had some good goals together down by the beach.
You and I were never near a beach, and you were never near me in that way.
Old woman, forget. Forget the joys of the flesh. Why is that?
I don't forget Bernie.
Who?
Bernie Walters.
Never heard of him.
I was married to him when Harry came along. Then Harry went away, and then you came along. A long time after. Platonic marriage, that's okay. You and I, George, but that's all right.
Platonic under the willow tree, that dude?
What willow tree?
Oh, I've been good to you, Mary, for all your carping and falling off in your old age, because Muriel never knew about that willow tree. You were wicked.
I thought you knew what you were talking about. I just mad. But I know you're just babbling. Babbling Bernie. That's you. Herbert used to say, how can you listen to him babble?
I'm Herbert.
If it makes you feel more secure, go on, keep reminding yourself.
You just called me Bernie.
Oh, sure. And you've never gone to Chicago.
I went there when my daughter died.
Wow, I'm glad you admit it.
Why shouldn't I? It's so. You're just trying to confuse me. You all the time saying Bernie, Harry, Grace, Mary, George.
You started a long time ago, Slippy. Only then you're more honest about it. Very touchy. When we went to Florida and you gave me the tickets, you said, Grace, my mind's slipping. Take care of the tickets.
You're Muriel.
Yes, yes, Lovey. My name's Miriam.
You just referred to yourself as Grace.
Oh, very likely. Very likely.
You said back then when we were going to Florida, I told you to take the tickets. I said, Grace, take the tickets. My mind's slipping.
Well, it was.
I've never been to Florida in my life.
Well, let's not go into it. The silk suit?
I never owned a silk suit.
You said it was the same suit you wore when you married Helen. And we had a long discussion about how ironic it was that you were in the same suit to run away with me.
Who's Helen?
You were married to her, silly.
I was married to Helen. I was running away to Florida with you and I was so my mind was slipping that I told you to take the tickets.
Mommy, you're running a lot of things that happen at different times together now. Maybe you should just stick quiet over there until you get straightened out.
I'm Herbert.
That's right. We'll start from there. You're Herbert and I'm Greg.
You're Muriel.
That's right. Now let's just leave it at that, or you won't sleep tonight.
I always sleep.
A fortune for a sleeping pill.
Never had one in my life.
And I suppose you've never gone to Chicago.
No. Why would I have gone to Chicago?
Only because our daughter died there and we went to the funeral.
We never had any children together.
I think we should talk more. You're getting confused.
You never let me near your little white body.
And what about that afternoon underneath the willow tree? I think that's when we conceived Ralph.
Who's Ralph?
Ralph is your stepson. Good God!
I can see my stepson under the willow tree.
I prefer if we were talking more. You can't go out trading thoughts for more than a moment, and it's very tiring trying to jump back and forth with you. Just close your eyes and rest. Are your eyes hurting you?
No.
That medicine must be very good then.
What medicine?
You see, that's what I mean.
I never had any medicine for my eyes.
Yes, all right. Let's not argue too much.
I'm Harry!
Yes, all right, all right. We'll just hold hands and try to doze a little. Think of the happier days.
Venice.
Yes, oh yes. Wasn't that lovely? Oh, you were so gallant. You're slightly shocking.
The beach.
The willow tree.
You running around naked. Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Yes, lovely.
midday. But when we turned the lights on, it turns out she was gay.